In the VRMRPG game of Ark Earth Online, there are no boundaries to what's achievable, and there are no guidelines or instructions. Player advancement depends solely on effort, intelligence, and experimentation. Sakimura Kagami, a 27-year-old, devoted years to advancing tirelessly. His character, Dunbalf Gangador, now ranks among the 9 wise men, the mightiest sorcerers in the Alcait kingdom. His close friend, King Solomon of Alcait, who co-founded Alcait Kingdom with him years ago, assigns him a mission to annihilate a 10,000-strong monster army, suspected to be summoned by sorcerers from another realm. Utilizing his power to summon a massive army, including a dragon, Dunbalf obliterates the monsters and returns triumphant. Several days later, the entire in-game world is left stunned as Dunbalf vanishes without a trace, plunging Alcait into chaos. In the wilderness, a young girl with silver hair and blue eyes awakens and journeys to Alcait. Upon catching her reflection, she's taken aback to discover that she looks adorable. The girl happens to be Dunbalf, and she explains to Solomon that she had been experimenting with altering her appearance using a vanity case. However, she had fallen asleep before undoing the changes, which left her as a young girl until she can obtain another case. Solomon reveals a significant reality update in the game, and astonishingly, Dunbalf has been absent for 30 years. The sole remaining wise man is Luminaria, who reappeared 20 years ago. Solomon has safeguarded Alcait through numerous wars, even during an industrial era, introducing technologies like motorized vehicles. Upon returning to his home, Dunbalf encounters his assistant, Marianne, who is an NPC fairy. The reality update has now given all NPCs real personalities. Consequently, Dunbalf is compelled to pose as Mira, Dunbalf's pupil, sent to take Dunbalf's place while he supposedly resides in a foreign country. Mira interacts with Solomon's advisors and military leaders, demonstrating her suitability as a replacement for Dunbalf by defeating a small army of monsters. The advisors suspect that these monsters are being controlled by demons for an unknown purpose, which, along with unrest in other kingdoms, concerns Solomon. Yet, with Dunbalf's unexpected return, Solomon finds himself genuinely enjoying the game once more. Solomon discloses that 20 years after Dunbalf's disappearance, a conflict erupted between humans and demons. Following the human victory, a treaty was signed to prohibit warfare for a decade, but this agreement is set to expire in just 1 year. Alcait finds itself in need of the 9 wise men once more. Unfortunately, the other 7 are still missing, even though evidence from Solomon's friend list indicates they are all present in the game. Consequently, he instructs Mira to locate them before the pact expires. Mira proposes an expedition to Necropolis catacombs in search of Soul Howl, the necromancer. During her quest, Mira encounters a young boy named Tact, who desires to visit Necropolis to communicate with his deceased parents using a mirror designed for contacting the departed. Several NPC adventurers, namely Amela, Zeph, Asval, and Flicker, volunteer to join the mission. While exploring the catacombs, Zeph glimpses his late sister, Lyrica, in the mirror. She had succumbed to an illness and assures him that her passing was not his fault. This experience prompts Mira to re-evaluate her perceptions of NPCs who appear far more human than she had previously assumed. Tact, however, is unable to connect with his parents, suggesting that they might not be deceased. At Solomon's behest, Mira endeavors to reach out to Howard, a deceased NPC with expertise in demons, to inquire about their recent activities related to the monsters. Howard fails to materialize in the mirror, and since Howard was a well-known demon expert, Imela discloses that demons have been spotted in multiple kingdoms, not limited to just Alcait. Mira takes the lead, guiding everyone to the 6th floor of the catacombs, where a substantial castle stands. She is the only one familiar with the method to gain access and, consequently, asks the others to wait outside. Upon reaching Soul Howl's throne room, it becomes apparent that Howl is an unsettling individual with an intense fixation on death. Mira makes a chilling discovery: the room is filled with countless lifeless maids and a girl who still clings to a flicker of life. While exploring Howl's laboratory, Mira realizes that he had suspended the girl in a state of suspended animation in his quest to locate the Holy Grail of heavenly light, aiming to save her life. In an unexpected turn of events, a demon suddenly attacks, and Mira finds herself battling it alone. Briefly, the other adventurers contemplate that Mira bears a resemblance to Dunbalf, but quickly dismissed the notion as implausible. Through a combination of magic and her distinctive immortal arts fighting style, Mira triumphs over the demon. She then reveals to the adventurers that she is, in fact, Dunbalf's pupil, a fact they readily accept. Mira comes to the realization that these individuals can no longer be regarded solely as NPCs, given their shared childhood memories and the existence of parents. She resolves to protect the kingdom for the sake of all its inhabitants. Upon returning to the surface, they encounter a horde of monsters launching an attack on the city. Mira calls upon her Valkyrie warriors to vanquish the marauding monsters. Inspired by her actions, Tact decides to follow in her footsteps and become a summoner. The leader of the adventurers, Captain Cyril, expresses his gratitude to Mira for her invaluable assistance. As they divide the spoils acquired from the battle, Mira is taken aback when Cyril effortlessly hoists the heavy weapon from the demon in the catacombs. Mira then dispatches Tact to the guild to assess his potential as a summoner and retrieves a clue from Solomon regarding the other wise men. Tact, upon evaluation, shows potential as a sorcerer, priest, and diviner but lacks summoner potential. Mira concludes that Cyril is not just an NPC but a player as well. He comes perilously close to deducing Mira's true identity as Dunbalf, so she claims that she and Dunbalf were real-life friends. Cyril shares his own story, detailing how he woke up in the game and embarked on a quest to find a way back home. Along the way, he formed strong bonds with NPCs, helped the village by eliminating goblin threats, improved their farming techniques, and taught them self-defense, before reuniting with his friends. He extends an offer for Mira to join the guild, but she declines, emphasizing the importance of her ongoing mission. Instead, he offers to investigate Solomon's latest clue. Upon returning home, clad in her Dunbalf robes, Mira discovers that replicas of the robe have become popular costumes among children. This realization stirs frustration within her as she feels like a child playing dress-up. On her way back home, Mira encounters a Shikigami cat named Nyanharu. A wind spirit materializes and explains that they had been targeted by humans, but she has no information about Nyanharu's owner. Mira hands over Soul Howl's research findings to Solomon's chief researcher, Solomon, and proceeds to recount all the events that transpired. She expresses her concern about the attacks on spirits, particularly Nyanharu, whose name implies a connection to Wiseman Kagura, a practitioner of divining magic. Solomon is well informed about a group known as Chimera Clausen, responsible for capturing spirits. Upon examining Soul Howl's documents, Solomon discovers that the Holy Grail of Heavenly Light is, in fact, a craftable item that requires rare ingredients. He assigns Mira the task of researching these components in the Fool's Wonderkammer, a labyrinth filled with books and materials. Gaining access to the correct floor necessitates obtaining ore from a specific mine. Garrett and his team borrow one of Mira's Dark Knights as a guard while they gather the necessary ore. During their mining expedition, they face an encounter with a legendary monster that bests their knight. A young girl suddenly comes to their rescue, using techniques strikingly similar to Mira's immortal arts. However, she departs without disclosing her identity. Based on the description, Mira suspects that she might be Wiseman Mylan, an eccentric enthusiast of martial arts. With the ore in hand, Mira embarks on her journey to the labyrinth. Mira, upon entering Arcite Academy, is inadvertently assumed to be a potential student by Hinata, a summoning magic teacher who, like Mira, struggles to attract students due to the subject's unpopularity. In a fit of anger, Mira decides to step up and represent the summoning skills department at the Mage Arts Symposium, where excelling could lead to increased funding and the possibility of attracting new students. Hinata, who has consistently finished last every year and is a frequent target of ridicule by Karis Burling from the sorcery department, watches as Mira summons Letitia, a winged spirit proficient in song magic for both healing and combat. Karis challenges Mira to a duel, doubting the potential of a young girl, but quickly succumbs when Mira conjures an entire army of Dark Knights. The summoning department emerges as the victor. Subsequently, Mira engages in a private summoning duel with Master Kleos, the current master of summoning magic, and emerges victorious, leading him to believe Mira is the long-awaited Dunbalf. Master Kleos decides to keep this a secret and gains the headmaster's permission to enter the labyrinth, even bringing Hinata along to witness expert summoners in combat. Hinata calls upon some of her own creatures to confront the labyrinth's guardian monsters, seeking advice from Mira and Cleos on how to enhance their abilities. Armed with the necessary information, they enter the correct level. However, to access the desired bookshelf, they must first decipher a door with a spirit in .escription. Since spirit language is notoriously cryptic, Mira summons Pam, a childlike rainbow spirit with encyclopedic knowledge of history. With Pam's help, they successfully crack the puzzle, locate the required books, and begin making copies. Unfortunately, while Pam searches for a delightful story, she inadvertently removes a book from its shelf, setting off security golems and compelling them to make a hasty retreat, though they've gathered all the information Mira needed. Now that Cleos is privy to Mira's secret, and with her upcoming mission, set to last for weeks, Solomon suggests that she should reveal the truth to the important individuals in her life. Mira then summons her most potent creature, Eisenfall the dragon, who had once regarded Dunbalf as his father, but now gladly accepts Mira as his mother. Following this, Mira returns home and, after some hesitation, confesses to her maid Mariana that she is not Dunbalf's apprentice, but Dunbalf himself. Mariana is overjoyed by this revelation as she had missed Dunbalf greatly, and she decides to become closer to Mira than she ever was with Dunbalf, including sharing Mira's bed and taking baths together. Solomon dispatches Mira to Child of Prayer Forest in search of a tree root, ingredient crucial for the Grail, with the hope of uncovering any signs of soul howl. In addition to this task, Solomon requests that Mira also explore the nearby primal forest for valuable ingredients. During her journey, Mira makes a stop at an old fort, where she notices a builder named Tomoki, who possesses remarkable speed and agility. She becomes acquainted with a soldier named Rotri, who reveals that they face relentless attacks from a massive monster that has caused significant casualties among their ranks. Mira examines one patient, Melissa, and diagnoses her with a toxin not commonly found on the continent. Mira successfully treats Melissa, leaving the soldiers deeply impressed. They willingly offer their assistance to help Mira in her quest to hunt down the menacing monster. Together, they set a trap for the creature, a tyrant spikeback gorilla, and with Mira's expertise, the soldiers manage to defeat the beast. Mira's summoning magic earns her widespread acclaim. During her interactions, she learns that Tomoki is also a player, although his skills lie in crafting rather than combat. Tomoki speculates that the monsters may have left their natural habitats with the aid of humans. Eventually, Mira reaches the specific tree where tree gods confirm that Soul Howl had indeed collected the root. However, they cannot ascertain whether it was recently or a long time ago. In gratitude, Mira offers them sweets as payment, only to be taken aback when they inquire if she would be willing to urinate on their roots instead, given their unique nutritional preferences as plant-based beings. In the primal forest, Mira embarks on a quest to locate progenitor seeds within a cave, dedicating hours to collecting the 10 required seeds. Along the way, she stumbles upon a treasure chest that holds a wood fragment from the world tree, which she decides to take for Luminaria. As she needs to exit the cave via a river, Mira undresses to avoid soiling her clothing, and rides the river outdoors. While emerging from the water in the nude, Mira is encountered by a man who initially mistakes her for a spirit, but departs upon realizing she is a human. Intrigued, Mira tails the man and observes him attempting to attack another spirit. However, his aggression is thwarted by another individual who wields divining magic from the Isuzu League. This second person confirms that the unnamed attacker hails from Chimera Clausen. Taking action to protect the diviner, Mira engages in combat and triumphs over the attacker, eventually capturing him. Grateful for her intervention, the diviner, Blue, and his companion, White, express their appreciation and take custody of the captured assailant. Gathering several important clues, such as the attacks on spirits, the reappearance of Nyanharu, and Blue's unique fighting style, Mira starts to suspect a potential connection between the Isuzu League and the missing Wiseman Elder of Divination, Kagura. She decides to accompany Blue to their headquarters with the hope of uncovering a clue regarding Kagura's whereabouts. Opting to delay her visit to the Isuzu, Mira departs and crosses paths with Ispal and his security team, who are safeguarding a merchant caravan. They relay a tale of the Black Hero, who a decade ago defeated a demon army before vanishing. Mira recognizes this as the work of Wiseman Valentin, a somewhat socially awkward demon expert. During their journey, the caravan comes under attack by monsters, resulting in the theft of a substantial cargo piece, a large stone. These marauding creatures are led by the renowned Silver and Gold Lions, whom Mira and Isval successfully vanquish. The stone, as it turns out, is a demon's tablet. When Mira makes contact with it, she is transported to another place and encounters a group of men dressed in white. Their leader explains that her soul has become entangled in a time fracture, propelling her into the past. Just as Mira is about to return to the present, the leader discloses that his people are called devils and are en route to the resurrection gate, where they hope to be reincarnated as angels. Mira is apprehensive about another gate nearby but ultimately returns to the present with the assurance that they are destined to meet again in her future. Upon returning to her own time, Mira has no recollection of the recent events. When she arrives back home, she finds the city under attack by a massive demon army, with Garrett attempting to organize a defense. She resolves to address the army's threat before seeking out Solomon. Despite the overwhelming numbers of monsters in 3 separate locations, Luminaria, Cleos, Amulet, and Mira manage to defeat them. Just as they are about to celebrate, a fissure opens in the sky, and an enormous black dragon emerges, targeting Solomon. Mira quickly summons all 7 of her Valkyries, tens of thousands of Dark Knights, and Letitia, who provides healing magic support. While her army distracts the dragon, Mira successfully paralyzes it, allowing Luminaria to strike it with a tremendously powerful meteor attack. Surprisingly, the dragon survives, leaving Luminaria drained of energy. In a bid to survive, Mira summons Pam, who casts every reinforcement spell she knows on Solomon, enabling him to withstand the dragon's onslaught and protect everyone. Mira then summons Eisenwald, and together, they finally manage to defeat the dragon. Despite the kingdom's jubilation, Mira declines the official reward for slaying the dragon, concerned that her identity should not be revealed to the public too soon. Instead, she remains focused on her other goals, such as locating the wise men, dealing with Chimera Clausen, and addressing the impending end of the inter-kingdom peace agreement. With numerous leads to pursue, Mira does not stay long and promptly embarks on her next adventures.
I hope you liked the recap. If so, don't forget to subscribe and like it.